there's no place like home for the holidays. And no matter how far away you roam, if you pine for the sunshine of a friendly gaze, for the holidays you can.
Here we are still in conference room F of the Ankeny King George Library.
King George III Library, of course, immortalizing King George III for his role in stamping out the upstart American colonies.
And we're hanging out, and we're haven't left the room. We've still got pink edition Red Bulls and red Velvet Reese's and
Sour
Patch Kids. We're probably going to be eating the whole time, which is probably a bad idea.
Well, you know, Jay, it's close to dinner time, so
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm Jeff. I'm Jay. He's Jeff. Shit, this episode's going
this
great.
intro's going perfectly, Jay.
Yeah, we're horror for the holidays. This is a stocking stuffer, etc., so on and so forth.
What are we talking about today, Jay?
I was, normally we talk about spooky stuff we got up to, which I guess I do actually have a thing to talk about briefly.
Do you?
Before we get into the crux of our episode. I don't know how many other listeners, I think I might have mentioned it. There was an Insidious stage play that was touring.
Yes.
That my wife and I had bought tickets for the February 16th showing here in Des Moines. Was very, very intrigued, very excited to see it. We bought tickets the day the tickets came out. So a very, very exciting idea. And it made it 3 stops on a tour and then got canceled. And we got our refund yesterday, and it was canceled due to technical difficulties, which is apparently code for this play fucking sucked. People were walking out because they were bored. People were complaining. People were hijacking the performances.
I was trying to figure out when you posted that. I was like, what kind of technical difficulties would an Insidious stage show have?
That it was bad. That it was very, very bad. Right. And I'm disappointed because I wanted to be able to share how bad it was with all the other people who had seen it. So I could make little comments, and then there'd be 500 other people in the world who would get that reference.
I understood that reference.
But no, if you do some trolling online, you can find kind of reviews. There's a bunch of TikTok reviews of people talking about how bad it was. I was first kind of made aware of how bad it was on Reddit. Someone had posted a little review, and they were like, yeah, I saw it opening night in Omaha. And they're like, oh, it was awful. And then somebody went, yeah, the best part was when one of the guys from Hillside House of Hell, shout out to Hillside House of Hell, a great little haunted house. I've mentioned it before on the podcast. When one of the guys from Hillside House of Hell was able to get his hands on a microphone and promote his haunted house instead of this stupid thing.
Nice.
It then went to Madison, where it received equally disdainful reception, and then went to Detroit. And I think it was supposed to do 2 different stops in Detroit. And
didn't make it, huh?
It made it through one stop where people were leaving at halfway. Someone posted on Reddit, they deleted their post. They posted on Reddit that they wound up checking their phone during their performance. And they were like, either leave or watch the show. Checking your phone is probably the worst thing you can do.
Yeah.
And so they deleted their thing, but it's just people trashing on it relentlessly. And I'm kind of bummed that I didn't get to see it.
That is kind of sad. You didn't get to see the train wreck for yourself.
Yeah, I was so excited. I mean, you and me, we love trash. It would have been a great thing.
True. It would have been amazing to see.
All right. Well, anyway, that's the spooky thing that I almost got to do. But let's get into the crux of the episode. The spooky thing we did get to do.
Yeah, Jay. Here, let me set the scene for you. Even a man who is pure in heart and says his prayers by night may become a wolf when the wolfbane blooms and the moon is full and bright. Classic Wolfman poem from the classic movie. This has nothing to do with any of that.
No, it's the face of the wolf disease.
Dog face disease, Jay.
Let's talk about Lee Whannell's Wolfman.
Let me tell you what my wife said when we finished watching this, Jay. why did they make that movie? And I could not answer her as to why they made that movie.
I think the thing about we'll probably spoil the fuck out of this movie.
Oh, it's getting spoiled, yeah.
But if you haven't heard about the ending, I had heard about that before I had heard about anything else, and people were like, all you need to know about Wolfman is the movie ends and the screen cuts to black, and then the first thing that appears is the letter L. And it's like just a big loss. You're just a big loser.
You took a big L by watching this movie. That's true. No, it's literally it was bafflingly bad, and I've never seen a movie like what my wife summed it up perfectly. This did not need to exist. This movie felt like people were just like going through the motions. Like, we have to make a Wolfman movie, I guess.
For the dark universe, we gotta make a Wolfman.
You know, Jason Blum's breathing down my neck. He says we better get a fucking new movie out there right now.
I think if you took a lot of the stuff in the movie and kind of kept that, there were a lot of things I thought were really interesting. And I don't know, maybe if you had made it like an alien movie where they're getting attacked by like aliens that are trying to abduct people or something, like not alien, like not xenomorphs, but like maybe if you did something like that, like maybe, but kept a lot of the same trappings and ideas, the movie might have been better. But this was just strange.
I thought it was very weird too that they make a reference to the native tribes or whatever, talking about this curse, this disease, and then that like literally never comes up, is never important.
It never gets brought up. Yeah, I was expecting something with that.
I was like, maybe like, because I was like, somebody's got to help them or whatever. Maybe like somebody from like that tribe is going to show up here or whatever, like get her radio message and be like, you know, this is how you kill it.
That would have been brilliant.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen the trailer, basically, there's a dad, a daughter, and a mom. They flee into like a cabin in the woods, and the dad gets bit by a wolf and starts turning into a wolf.
He just gets scratched by him, which I also didn't. It's like, so it transmits any way you touch him, and it's like, if it transmits that easily, how are there not like dozens of these things running around?
Right. But yeah, he gets scratched and then starts to like, develops a fever and starts to turn and eventually turns into a werewolf.
His arm basically just starts rotting off, and he doesn't. That's another thing. It's like they don't give this werewolf like any of the classic werewolf powers. Like, he doesn't seem that strong. He doesn't seem that fast. I mean, he's fast like for a person, I guess, but that's because he's like running at full speed.
Right.
No faster than a regular person could run. He doesn't like heal or regenerate at all.
And the whole reason they're there is to track down the dad's dad. Like, the dad's dad passed away.
You get like an opening scene of the main guy being young. He goes out hunting with his dad. Obviously, he gets stalked by what we know now as a werewolf, but you already knew at the beginning of the movie, basically, because you see it move by like a gray blur. And then the dad's like, it was a bear. And it's like, that's not a bear.
But then he's like down on his like underground bunker talking to his military buddies.
Yes, I've seen it.
I've seen it. We got to go track it down. I'm not going to let it get my son.
Yes, and it's clear that his wife died or whatever, and he's super overprotective of his son.
And so I thought maybe the wife got killed by the werewolf. Like, I was
something. Nothing ever comes of that. And we, I don't know if you guys called it immediately. We called it immediately when they go to his dad's house or whatever because he's dead. It's like, he's not dead. He's a werewolf.
Yep. So yeah. So I wanted to get into that. So the son gets bit. The dad gets bit. He gets turned into a werewolf by his dad. There's a whole thing to do with that. That happens, and he's slowly turning. And then at one point, the dad is able to kill his dad. The werewolf dad is able to kill his werewolf dad, and then kind of like basically stops his family from getting killed. That's kind of from getting attacked, and then they run off to run away from him. And I thought there was going to be like, oh, they think the dad's chasing them. Mm-hmm. But the werewolf that turned his dad is still out there.
Yeah.
And he was going to go and basically sacrifice himself, like, to protect them from that werewolf. And then something would happen with that.
That's also what I thought. But no.
And instead it's just like they get put back in the tree blind from the beginning of the movie. The dad appears in his weird CGI werewolf form.
Terrible looking.
Looks awful. And looks more like a hairless rat or something.
No, he literally, like, I get what they were going for, because the dad has it written down on his notepad or whatever. It's almost like he has rabies or whatever, and it's just making him slightly more wolf-like than normal.
Right.
But yeah, he does not look like a werewolf. He looks like a guy with, like, slightly wolf-based features.
Yep. And then he goes and basically, like, the daughter's like, he wants us to kill him. Like, he wants us to end it.
Because of her cringe mind-reading power she uses multiple times.
And it just felt so, like, unearned.
And at the end of the movie, you're literally like, why did this happen? This movie felt completely unnecessary. It went nowhere. It explored none of, like, the traditional werewolf ideas. Because, like, the thing is, you're supposed to be tortured or whatever by the curse. And, you know, you can't control yourself, except he can control himself. He does it multiple times, including at the very end when he's fully cursed or whatever. And, oh, my God, the escape scene. I was literally laughing. They're escaping, right? So first of all, they implausibly find a working battery jump box thing in the dad's basement that's still charged somehow after who knows how long, because he's been gone so long he's been declared dead because they can't find him.
So who knows how long the government has...
Probably at least a couple years he's been gone. And so they use that to implausibly jump his ancient pickup, which somehow starts, even though it probably would have seized the engine when they tried to turn it over if it sat that long. And so it starts up. Werewolf Grandpa shows up. I'll just call him Grandpa, so you don't have to confuse it anymore. Punches through the windshield. They take off running, and instead of going right into the barn next door with a door they could shut,
they climb up the greenhouse.
They climb on a greenhouse made of cloth. And I was like, well, this is it. They're fucked. No, Grandpa Werewolf doesn't like try to get to them or anything. He just paces around inside the greenhouse and looks up at them. And then he like just follows his son when he runs away to lead them away so they can run to the house. I was like, this movie's fucking stupid.
It was so, I was just so, and like I said, I thought there were some real good kind of unique ideas, because there's even like the thing about like, you know, that they're radioing for help. They're in kind of the middle of nowhere.
Yes.
I would have loved a thing where like someone comes on and they're like, yeah, I know what it is. I'm not going to help you.
Yeah.
Like,
no, she should have been able to contact someone, even if it didn't help her. Yes. She should have been able to talk to at least somebody.
But instead, like, it just, I don't know. It seemed like it was almost like Wolfman Quiet Place. Like that was kind of.
Almost. Yes, it was really, and I liked what they did with like his heightened senses or whatever. Like when he hears the spider walking upstairs and it sounds like as loud as like deer walking along the roof or whatever. Mm-hmm. But then they did that weird like neon vision or whatever, and I'm like, what is this? Why would he see like that?
Like, is that what they are? Is that what it's supposed to look like? Have they done some kind of research and that's what like canines are supposed to see?
I don't think so. And him not being able to understand, like I could understand like maybe he can't talk anymore or whatever, but I don't get why he can't understand them. That makes absolutely no sense.
It was just a baffling movie.
It was just so many things that go nowhere. And I mean, honestly, it's not even really a werewolf movie. They're not werewolves. They're literally just guys who have caught a disease.
Yep. I was so let down. I was really, I think I'd even said on the podcast, I was like, oh, that actually looks like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, from the trailer, I thought it was going to be a fun, cool movie.
And as I was just sitting there, I just got less and less excited and just more and more just like baffled by the choices in that movie.
But I mean, it cuts out the whole thing that makes werewolves interesting, like the duality of the two warring things inside, because he literally just changes one time and can never change back. He just becomes an animal.
No, I really thought there would be something else. I like I said, I was really expecting some final act turn.
Yes,
something either a way to turn the dad back because one of the Native Americans shows up.
Yes,
or like I said, or the dad. They think the dad's chasing them, or there's something, but no, the mother werewolf is still out there or whatever.
Well, his dad had the Special Forces tattoo, and that's how they identified that it's him finally, even though we all guessed it a long time ago.
Right, exactly.
But I was thinking maybe that's not actually his dad, and the dad was actually going to show back up or whatever because he had these buddies or whatever that were in the army with him. I thought maybe it was one of them, and they just thought it was him,
Right?
Because they would all have like the same tattoo or whatever.
No, there were so many things that they could have done that it's just like, did you not have the time? Did you not have the money? Like,
It's almost just like they didn't care. That's
Right.
what this movie felt like.
and that's a real disappointment. Lee Wanell did that Invisible Man movie
Yes.
that you liked so much.
It was good. That was a really good take on the Invisible Man. It was something I totally wasn't expecting. This was something I wasn't expecting, but not because it baffled me or whatever. It's just because it was such a low effort cash in.
It just, why did this movie have to get made? And then it's even funnier, one, it came out opposite a vampire movie.
Yes.
With Nosferatu. And then also, Robert Eggers then went, all right, well, I'm going to make a werewolf movie now. And it's just like, well, all right, well, so much for you, Wolfman. We're going to have an actual good werewolf movie in 2 years.
Well, we hope.
I'm sure it'll be great. I'm sure it'll be horny as shit.
I was going to say, I don't know if great would be the right word. It's probably going to fuck.
It's going to fuck.
Werewolf's going to fuck.
Oh, man. Got to see some werewolf dong. Oh, I'm so excited.
I'm going to hear Willem Dafoe fart at least 5 times.
Oh, I think Willem Dafoe is already set to be in the movie.
He's going to use... Those two are going to work together until one of them dies.
Oh, man.
But, I mean, let's hope. Let's hope he doesn't do worse than Wolfman.
I mean, I don't believe he can, but yeah, who knows?
I didn't believe this movie. I was like, surely they can't fuck up werewolves this badly. Nope, they did.
They did. But yeah, that was something, and it was just so. Like I said, at the end of the day, it was just kind of like so disappointing that this is what happened. Like,
honestly, the way they behave is more like a rage virus zombie from like 28 Days Later than a werewolf. They act like animals, and they're like slightly heightened above human ability.
Also, how fast the turn happened. Like,
yes, it was like in one night he goes from getting scratched to becoming this weird diseased monster.
Like, I thought it would be like a slow turn over a course of days as supplies are running out.
Yeah.
Based off the trailer, I was like, oh, there's going to be like a pack of like werewolves that come and attack every night, and they have to kind of like try and find an escape, but also the dad is sick and slowly turning himself.
That would have been much better. Much better than what we got. And I was like, there's no way that this is just going to be all set during one night. But no, it was.
It was. And it was I don't even know. Disappointing. It was absolutely disappointing.
And the way that I don't know what the actor that played the dad's name is, but he did not do a very good job.
I don't think any of them did a good job.
I mean, no, none of them, but he particularly stood out for a couple of lines to me, like when he was trying to apologize for telling her to get down off the construction barricade at the beginning, and when he's down next to her on the couch after the initial attack, and he's like, I hope this doesn't scar you or anything. And I'm like, what a kind of thing for a dad to say to a kid. This just like kicks me completely out of this movie.
All right, we've got Lee Wanell voiced the buddy on the CB radio.
Oh, okay.
We got Benedict Hardy as Derek Keel, the son. Christopher Abbott as Blake, who is the Wolfman. Julia Garner is Charlotte. Matilda Firth is Ginger, the daughter, and then Sam Yeager is Grady, Blake's dad. Not a very big cast.
Yeah, not a very good cast.
Yep. Like, it was just, I don't know. Like, I don't even know Christopher Abbott. My brother's a big fan of Julia Garner, but I don't know. I don't even know Christopher Abbott from anything. It Comes at Night.
I don't think I've ever seen Julia Garner or anything, but she didn't bring anything to this that I think I would want to see again.
Is Possessor. That's a Cronenberg movie. Well, it's Brandon Cronenberg. Poor Things is probably the biggest movie on this list.
Oh, okay.
Which, I mean, people liked Poor Things. I don't know. I didn't see it.
I didn't think it looked particularly interesting, but whatever.
But yeah, that's the cast.
But yeah, it's not recommended for me.
Yeah, but no, same. I don't see Wolfman. Like I said, wait 2 years and go see Werewolf. It should hopefully be better.
Oh, speaking of, do a quick Nosferatu note here. This really pissed me off, Jay, because we've got a guy who's made us suffer through period-accurate dialogue, not once, but twice, because he's so committed to maintaining the accuracy of the setting. Why in Nosferatu is the movie set in Germany, but everyone speaks in a British accent, Jay?
I mean, it's just movies.
No, but that's the thing.
Yeah.
He insisted on the witch having period-accurate dialogue, which is basically unintelligible for half of the movie.
Right.
And in the lighthouse, they made him speak in the old she-dog shanty, blah, 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 blah. But for this, he's just like, oh yeah, I guess everybody will have British accents, even though we're set in Germany.
And then Willem Dafoe gets a prosthetic penis because, according to Robert Eggers, Willem Dafoe's real penis is so strange that they had to use a prosthetic.
It's so big. That's the problem. Apparently, he's hanging like 12 inches down there, Jay.
Man, him, freaking Mad Men guy, like...
Oh. John Hamm.
Yeah, John Hamm.
Ham's packing a ham down there, Jay. Is that what you're trying to tell me? But no, that's what I've heard about Willem Dafoe. That's what makes it quote unquote strange is how big it is. People were like, if we let him show his real one, we don't think people would believe that it's really his.
Oh, that's amazing. So, way to go, Willem Dafoe.
I don't know. What a great life. How does this man have so much fucking success, Jay, and we have nothing?
Right. That's the same thing with John Hamm. He gets to be funny and charming and handsome and rich and has a giant hog. Like, come on, universe, give him one L. Like,
nope, not gonna happen.
No, all the L's get transferred to this podcast.
Well,
if you have any thoughts about L's or Wolfman,
we both took a giant L at the end of Wolfman.
Yeah, we did. Send us an email, horrorfortheholidays@gmail.com. Get in touch with us on social media. We are at horror4holidays, horror the number 4 holidays, in all the places.
Indeed. Subscribe, hit the bell on YouTube, leave us comments. Let us know if you have any ideas for future stocking stuffers you might want to hear.
Yeah, that's a good call. Yeah, either send us an email or post them somewhere. We're always looking for ideas. We always want to know what people listen to so we can kind of do what people want.
I hope you're happy, Spencer. You made us spend more time at the library.
I mean, it's fine.
I can feel myself getting more educated. It's going to ruin the show.
Oh no, we're going to start saying $5 words in our reviews.
This movie was both preposterous and a poppycock.
Oh God, it's happening. Leave us a 5-star review on your podcatcher of choice, regardless of if the text of your review is bad. We just want a 5-star review. Also, if you enjoy the quality of this podcast, tell a friend.
As far-fetched as that seems, it might happen, Jay.
Yeah. Spread the word. The best way to let people know about a podcast is to tell people who you think might enjoy it. Otherwise, we'll see you again next week for another stocking stuffer, but this time about current Valentine's Day horror movies.
Companion eyes.
Wait, what did I call? Oh, shit.
Heart-panions.
Compart eyes. There we go.
Compart eyes.
All right. Yeah. We're going to talk about companion heart eyes. All right. See you next week. Thanks for listening.
Bye, I guess.